This is a film about young people, and as we all know, young people are, well, pretty awful. I mean, it's wrong to stereotype, but let's face it, most young people are drug-addled morons who'd steal your car as soon as look at you. I mean, as a young person myself, I am actually down with the kids, as they like to be called, on the street. YOLO. So, what is all this about grit?
Grit's about changing young people. This programme's important and it's needed.
Finally I found people that actually cared about young people, done wonders for my life.
Because if it wasn't for grit, I'd be 6 feet under now, but doing a life sentence in Maghaberry.
Almost 1,000 young people have been through the grit experience. Nearly all of them were involved in care, were disadvantaged, were involved with drinks and drugs. They were all high risk. And virtually all of them have changed their lives around. And you know what? They did it themselves.
Life was horrendous before I went and done grit. I'd come to the end of the road as far as living was concerned. I could no longer live with alcohol, and I didn't know how to live without the stuff. When I went on grit, it lit a giant inside me.
Before grit, I was inactive, wasn't doing anything with my spare time. I'd left school early, left with no qualifications at all. I was just spending all my time taking drugs, drinking on a daily basis. Just I had nothing else to do, didn't feel I had anything else to do. And I realised it needs to change, and grit gave me that eye-opener, that realisation that it's possible, you can change.
I'm a fat middle-aged man. Challenge me, I collapse in a heap. These young people were challenged and they rose to the challenge and they changed their own lives.
Every other week I'm getting a phone call saying one of my mates have harmed themselves or drug overdose or stuff like that. And with having my son, I don't want that life for my wee man, so I knew by going on this residential and getting the support, I could get something out of this. Yeah, the residential was good. Like, don't get me wrong, it was hard because you were going somewhere where there was no phone signal, no TV, so you had to keep yourself occupied. But then with me, it was coming off the drugs. Every time someone was saying something to me, I was always under the influence, if you know what I mean. But going on that residential, you're sober and you're hearing this, it made me realise and click on that I can't be living my life like this anymore.
We done mind maps, which was brilliant. It was so good just to get a lot of things off your chest and you didn't share with any other people, or like to hear other people's stories and realise that they're the same as me. Like if they can get up and get on with it, I can get up and get on with it, and like you're stronger than you think. Grit care, and they try their best to make you do things that you're not comfortable with and take you out of your comfort zone, and I felt good to do that.
It was the first time someone actually believed in Conor. For the first time, you know, and it was a genuine belief, you know, that you know, I'm capable of anything, you know, and it was the best 5 days of my life.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, yeah, Tim, I'm in tears here. A lot of drug-taking wee hoods have stopped taking drugs. Big deal, boo-hoo. Tell me about the money you're saving. But you will save money. You'll save on social security bills, on NHS bills, on police bills, on anti-social activities bills. Grit saves money.
We work with young people who come to the attention of the police and the courts to try and reduce their risk of offending. I think without the programme Grit, a lot of these young people wouldn't be able to have the opportunity that the Grit programme offers them in getting involved in activities, but also being given the opportunity just to talk about how they feel and what the problems are in their life. And also it's a stepping stone, I think, for further chances of employment, and also to stay out of getting into trouble in the future.
It had a huge impact on family and friends as well. Like my mum, with me going to court and with me going to youth justice, she was coming with me and she was stressed out. You know, she had a hard time with it as well. You know, single parent family of 7, she didn't need the extra hassle. On other residentials and other programs, it was just, they take you away for 2 days, you go on a go-kart, you climb a wall, and they send you home, and that was it. You never spoke to them again, you never went back to them. But Grit, they were ringing you constantly, asking you, are you doing anything, are you busy today, keep it up, telling you to go out and do stuff, telling you to go out and do something with your day. And it felt brilliant, like, you know, somebody ringing you and actually being able to say, oh, this person believes in me. If he thinks I can do something, then I'll do it.
So spare these young people the liberal hand wringing about having a bad start in life. These young people have seen it all. Seen it, done it, worn the t-shirt. Probably shoplifted the t-shirt, but you know, they've worn it. At-risk and disadvantaged young people can cause a lot of destruction to themselves and to others around them, but they also have limitless potential. Give them a break and they can do a huge amount of good.
A week in my life now is running after my 2-year-old son, engaging and working with young people and studying. Life's good.
I'm busy every day, I'm always doing something. I'm actually working on a gaming festival. I'll be the floor manager, I'll be in charge of 12 volunteers, which I just think's great. Forever grateful, to be honest, because I think if I hadn't went on Grit 2 or 3 years ago, I'd probably still be sitting here drinking cans. I probably would.
Well, I live back with Mum, got a job in Oslo full time and doing driving lessons. I'm not in education anymore, but I'm looking for part-time courses, so that's all thanks to Grit.
Politicians, you know I love you very much, so please do this one wee thing for me, and I promise I'll never slag you off in the blame game ever again. I promise. And you know me, I'm like a politician. When I make a promise,
Grit's needed. It's needed to give young people a chance, you know, because as soon as anyone thinks about a teenager or something, all they think of is the negatives, where there is a lot of positives that come out of young people. You know, if you treat people bad throughout their whole teenage years, they're going to think they are bad and do bad stuff. It really needs to be funded. You know, it gives young people a second chance to turn their life around.
It changed me so much, and I owe my big thank you, because if it wasn't for that programme, as I said, I'd be 6 feet under and now be doing a life sentence in McGabbery. All my mates have passed away now through suicide or drug overdose if they had had the support, because everything's getting knocked back because of funding this, funding that, and that's why all this is happening, because the support's not there. If they have the money, put it into places, put it into the programme that works. Grit have the stats to prove what it does to young people, so why not refund it? So if it can help me and help a few other people, do it.
people say politicians don't listen. I know you do listen, so please listen to these young people. They're telling you that grit will make a huge difference to young people like them. Grit saves you and all of us money. Grit works. Grit changes lives. The Jerry Rogan Initiative Trust, or GRIT, was formed 10 years ago in memory of a senior civil servant called, well, you guessed it, Jerry Rogan. Jerry dedicated his working life to showing disadvantaged young people that by believing in themselves and taking positive action, they could have healthy and happy futures. Sadly, Jerry died too young, but his wife Therese, along with a group of friends and colleagues, were determined to honour him by carrying on his vision. So GRIT was born. It had one simple aim: to create a model of intervention that would help disadvantaged young people to become productive citizens. Through GRIT, the young people would then be able to support themselves and their families with dignity and respect. GRIT has succeeded beyond all expectations.